would be interested in listening to, or that there is a capacity out there to take the information and that you have support to make sure that it gets delivered, but it's not necessarily going to improve the chances of funding if you have in-kind contributions. Is honoraria for speakers on education panels eligible? That's a honoraria normally are reserved for elders and for in special cases. We'd have to look at the specifics of your application to be able to answer that question. So I'm afraid I will suggest that you send us that question specifically into our Promo Science account, and we can give you a more thoughtful answer. In an announcement, it was noted that a medical professional should be part of the team. Kindly comment. Can I throw that question to our colleague from CIHR?
Hi there, thank you. I think what we'll do for questions like that, just when there's very specific situations, is maybe email the inbox and then we can look at those on a case-by-case basis. I wasn't familiar with the previous announcement that's being referred to.
Thank you, because neither was I. That's why I threw you under the bus. Can a proposal be accepted but a budget other than the requested awarded? In the sense of you'll never get more funding than you asked for. Will you get less than you asked for? Possibly only if, well, only in the situation if we're running out of funding, but usually we would fund the request that you have submitted. It's not a, I'll ask for, because it's up to $50,000, you should be asking for what you actually need to run the activity, and not asking for, say, more in the hope that you'll get a little bit less. And well, in the thought that you will get a little bit less, you should be getting as much as you need to run the activity with a maximum of $50,000. This is very similar to a funding opportunity at KEHAC. Can we hold both sources of funding for the same project? You can hold both sources of funding, but not for the same activities. I'm curious how we may address difficult cases where some may suggest we are part of some conspiracy. That is another question that I would ask you to send to our Promo Science inbox so we can give a thoughtful answer to your question. To sort of supplement the question about whether applications that have mobilized or leveraged other sources of funding have a better chance of funding, it would depend on how these were positioned with respect to the selection criteria. If they increase the reach, the scope, the impact, then they would have a better chance of being funded. Is the salary for a student/staff assistant working on the project an eligible expense? If they are working directly with the delivery of the activity, then it would be. Can we use the same PI that is currently holding an NSERC Promo Science grant? Yes, you can, again, as long as it's not for the exact same activities that are within the Promo Science funded grant. Is the topic open for encouraging confidence in any type of vaccines, not just COVID-19? The answer is yes, it is. Do not profit organizations need a professor or academic institution involved to apply for funding? No, any non-for-profit organization can apply. Professors or academics need to apply through their institutions. Individuals cannot apply for a grant. If you are not-for-profit, you are eligible to apply for the grant. You just need to supply proof of your not-for-profit status. Okay. Our nonprofit, so just lost it. Sorry, I'm scrolling and sometimes the scrolling doesn't work. My apologies.
Mm-hmm. I can see that question. I can read it. Okay, go ahead. Okay. Our nonprofit organizes virtual field trips for vulnerable communities across Canada. We show teachers and teenagers how industry, like vaccine manufacturers, connect to the social studies, mathematics, science, and language curriculum. I don't know if that's the end of the question. Looks like there's a continuation, but I can't get to the rest of it. Can you, TJ?
Not yet. I'm so far have just that one. I
can read the rest of it. Here,
if you can see it, please do.
Yes, it says, does program delivery have to begin during the summer, or can it wait for the school for when school starts in August?
Okay, yeah.
So the answer to that is it can wait. You have you probably won't receive the funding before July, and you have a whole year to spend that funding. It's 1 year's worth of funding. So if it waits until school starts in August or September, that's not a problem. Good implementation science / community-based research practices include monitoring of efficacy, of any knowledge mobilization activities. Is this level of data collection acceptable within the parameters of the call for proposals, considering the no research point? I would have to say that that's a question again that we would have to take a look at what you're actually proposing, and I would, because it's so specific, I would invite you to send it to the Promo Science account. Does program delivery have to begin during the summer, or can it wait for when the school starts in August? I think I just answered that one. Our activity would be directed primarily to French-speaking populations, so would we still have to translate all in English? We would encourage you to have materials available in both official languages. Obviously you have to tailor your activities to the audience that you are addressing, but should there be a possibility of some English speaking members be in the audience, it would be nice to have your materials bilingual. Will there be a national platform supported and promoted by NSERC or CIHR for these projects, i.e. if I'm designing new activities for use with Manitoba students, is there a broader sharing plan for these on a national level? That's another question that I'll ask you to send to the Promo Science account. At the moment, this is considered to be a one-time only call for proposals. What happens after the call for proposals, we haven't quite worked out yet. So I would suggest that you send that to us so that we can give you a more thoughtful response. How many awards are we hoping to grant? Well, we have $2.25 million, and applications are up to $50,000 each. Or applications can be up to $50,000 each. So we don't know how many we're going to grant. It depends on how many we get at what level. So it's a difficult question to answer.
I don't know if you read this question, TJ. There's a question earlier which says, can you apply if your organization is currently receiving funds from NSERC?
Yes, I answered that one, yeah.
Okay, all right.
I think I might have skipped some, but I have, for post-secondary institutions, is the partnership with other organizations as collaborators required? The answer is no. But if you are partnering with other organizations, there's no reason not to do it. Youth